What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Barber Jase. Welcome back to another video and welcome back to Basic Barbering Breakdown. Today we are taking it back to basics. I'm teaching you the first thing you should learn, how to hold a pair of scissors or shears and a comb. Let's get into it. So right here I've got my 6-inch Joel scissors. These are my go-to scissors when layering, and let's start off with a bit of maintenance and adjustments. So you want to open up your scissors and you want to drop a touch of oil next to the screws. Some of you guys might have scissor oil, which would be better, but if not, use your clipper oil, which is fine as well. After that, you want to open and close your blades just to make sure all the oil gets into the screws. This will make your scissors more smooth and less stiff, which will be easier for you to cut. Also, by doing this, it should get any excess hair that's stuck inside the screw out, and you just use a little tissue and dab away the excess oil and hairs that come out. I recommend you do this at least once a week, and make sure like this video while you're there. Cool, so now we need to adjust the tension in our scissors, and to test this is how we do it. So you want to point your scissors straight up to the sky, lift up one of the blades and drop it. If it closes all the way, then you need to tighten this screw, or you might even need to loosen it, but I'm going to show you where the blade should stop. So using a special scissor key or some scissors, you can just twist a notch on the screw. I need to tighten up the tension. I'm just tightening it a little bit and I'm testing it again. It just needs a little bit more tightening. It should stop around ½ an inch from closing. Right there, that is where the money is. That's where you want your blade to stop. Not too tight, not too loose. If it's too loose, the hair will start folding over the blade, and if it's too tight, it will be hard to use your scissors and your fingers will start hurting. But that's where the money is. When it's closed, it will stay closed, and when it's open, it will be easy to use. So now we need to hold our scissors correctly. So ring finger goes in, and your little finger should sit on top of the pinky rest. Your index and your middle finger should sit on top of the scissors as well. So with your thumb, only the tip of your thumb should be in the scissors. A bit of advice, only stick the tip in when you're cutting hair. But moving on, we need to hold our scissors safely when we're not using it. I like to tuck it away where my little finger is. So I use my index finger and my middle finger to flick the scissors round, and also rotating my wrist, and that should swing the scissors round and I catch it with my little finger. So to get your scissors back out, I release my little finger, rotate my wrist back, and the scissors should swing back. You need to catch it and then you're ready to cut. When I first started learning, I used to sit there for hours flicking my scissors back and forward just to get used to the motion, but some people, they just like to hold it like this with your thumb. That's fine as well. So the reason why we tuck our scissors away is so that our fingers are more free to use our comb, so we can get cleaner sections. Also a safer way to hold your scissors. You can also hold it like this with your scissors closed, tucked away next to your thumb. Ideally, you want to hold your comb with 3 fingers. This is how you're going to comb, section and pick up hair. Also with the comb, you have your wide tooth and your fine tooth. So you need to switch in between the both to section and to pull the hair with good tension. So this is how I switch in between the both. I place my middle finger on the other side of the comb and I use that to spin the comb round. It's a good little technique, looks pretty cool as well. My bad guys, my comb looks a little bit dirty, I should have cleaned it. Shout out to all my ex-students. If I ever taught you in the junior class, this is what I used to teach them on the very first day. This definitely brings back memories. I'm also going to show you a couple more techniques and exercises you can practice in your spare time. So once you're comfortable holding your comb and scissors, this is how you're going to use it. So pulling the hair up, finding your guide. Once you have found your guide, you need to take your comb and put it where your thumb is to move it out the way. So once your thumb is holding the comb, you're ready to flick out your scissors. So you want to release your pinky finger, rotate your wrist, palm facing up. As soon as you catch it, remember your tip of your thumb goes in and you're ready to cut. I like to rest the tip of my index finger on top of the scissors, roughly around where the screw is, and you want to cut using your tips of your scissors, starting from the tips of your fingers. So you want to rest the scissors just on your fingers, almost floating, and you want to cut between the second knuckle and the tips of your fingers to get the best tension. so it's not good to cut past the second knuckle as you might cut yourself and there's less tension. You can, but it's not ideal. But you want to practice doing them steps just to get used to that motion. But here's a different angle, POV style. So when you pull up the hair, make sure your fingers and comb move together. Put your comb away, flick your scissors out and use the tips of your scissors and cut to your guide. Cut to your second knuckle, scissor goes away, take your comb and repeat the same steps. When you're cutting, out of all your fingers, only your thumb should be moving, so only one blade is moving and the other blade should be static. But thank you again guys for watching, but make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support, and comment down below and tell me what you want me to do for the next episode of Basic Barbering Breakdown. But right here I'm showing you a different technique of cutting. Instead of resting the tip of my finger on top of the scissors, I usually use this when doing underhand techniques like block graduation and also scissor over comb. Cutting like this produces more power in the blade, which gives it a cleaner cut. Better if you're cutting larger amounts of hair, but I find it does strain the wrist sometimes, so I do rest the tip of my fingers when I'm cutting my layers, just like this. But moving on to the next technique, I'm going to show you a bit of underhand. After sectioning, you want to spin your comb round, use the finer tooth of your comb to pull the hair towards you. The comb goes away, the scissors flick out, and you're ready to cut. When cutting like this, I rest my static blade on my middle finger and I cut down towards my second knuckle. Again, only one blade should be moving, and you'll just want to repeat them steps just to get used to the motion. It is difficult on the body positioning because sometimes when you're doing underhand, it does get a bit uncomfortable. But here's a couple exercises to help you work with your static blade. So resting your static blade on your other index finger, you want to open the scissors as wide as you can, only using the tips of your thumb to open a blade, and you want to close it with power. Opening your scissors as wide as you can and closing it, almost snapping it with power so you can get a nice clean cut. So you can try it at different angles, scissors pointing up, scissors pointing to the left and also down. Another exercise I do when I'm chilling in my spare time, I don't do it anymore but I used to, I rest the back of my hand on my leg and I open my scissors and close it as wide as possible, only using your thumb to control the cutting blade. Do this in your spare time, like when you're watching TV or something, and I guarantee you that will help your static blade. But here's another exercise to get you ready for scissor over comb. I might show you this in the next episode. So moving your comb slow and the blade of your scissors fast. You want to keep the base of the comb and your static blade parallel, and you just want to practice it with different angles. But practice that as well, just to get ready for your scissor over comb basic barbering breakdown. But thank you again for everyone that's watching. We've got loads of new videos coming out every Thursday, 7 PM UK time. So stay tuned, stay fresh, stay faded, stay safe. It's your boy Barber Jase, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.